Do you know an important person?
Yes, and my mummy thinks she's important when she gets new clothes and she tries them on, and she's very pleased with herself for getting them.
Why do you say she thinks she's important then?
Well, she looks important, and when she hasn't got the new clothes on, she doesn't look important, and she seems that she's sad.
Which way do you prefer to see her?
Glad and happy and important.
Who do you say is important?
Well, Mr. Wilson's important because you can't criticise him. He can criticise us, say we've done something that's barely wrong. He can criticise us for doing
Ian's right on that, you see. Because Mr. Wilson can criticise our fathers, can't he? But what would happen if we tried to criticise him? We would maybe get arrested or be fined for something.
Well, what sort of a job do you think it would be? Would you like to have it yourself?
Well,
not really.
Not really.
Because, well, it will be all right at first, but it will get boring as you have to go to meetings every day. It's all right when you're speaking, but when the other person's speaking, it's
And you get
boring.
letters, you know, letters nearly about 100 a day or so, and you have to read them all the way. You get boring every day reading 100 letters.
After a bit, you get bored, you know, like when I was made a sixer in the Cubs. I thought it was great at first, but now it's just normal, you know. It's not a lot. I just think myself as a normal Cub.
I wouldn't like the job because, you see, when he goes, he has to make speeches. You know, you see on the news nearly every day, he has to make some speeches. Well, I think I would get quite boring, really, you know, speeching every day to people, and then you get letters in every day, and in meetings, and it would get quite boring all the time.
Well, what sort of a job do you think it is? Why is he there?
Well, I suppose it's out of the goodness of his heart.
What about you? What kind of a job do you think the Prime Minister's got?
I think he's got a very easy one because he plans to do things, but he doesn't get round to do them. I've never met the Prime Minister. I've got his autograph and I've got the Foreign Secretary's, Mr. Brown. They're both terrible writers. If I wrote like that, I would get wrong off the teacher.
What would the teacher say?
She'd say you're a naughty, naughty little girl.
Well, I think football referees are very important in World Cup matches, FA Cup final matches, and other such matches as these. But in league matches, no, they're not all that important.
Why not?
Well, half the time they don't know what they're doing. Like in a corner, they stand behind the line, and the ball can be blasted into the other half, and they're not there to see an incident, while somebody could get a broken leg or something like that. I would say it would be much better if they had two referees on the field, one controlling one half and one the other half.
Well, the pop groups are very important because, I mean, without them we wouldn't have any. Well, at least they bring in money for the records. And we have to have a pop singer to go into the Eurovision Song Contest. And if we win, more people from other countries buy our records, so we'll get more money to put into the bank.
You're the head boy here. Are you an important person?
Yes, I suppose I am, really.
Can you remember when you first got this authority, what that was like?
Well, yes, I can remember. I was very worried of whether I would get the job. I wasn't certain at all. And I was almost certain that either Kevin Corner or Stephen Shue would get the job. And I was off school for about a day with worrying. My mum said it was with worrying, but I didn't really know. And then when I got to the school, Mr. Glover called all these people into the hall. And I thought, oh, this must be it. I must be a monitor or something. And then Mr. Glover said that the staff and I have decided who was going to be the head boy. And he called out my name. I really got the shock of my life, and I didn't know what had happened.
Well, what about being important like this and having authority? Is it worthwhile?
Yes, it's very worthwhile. It gives me a sense of responsibility. I feel that I've got a job to do, and I must do it. It takes time off spare time, but I'm not worried. I'm not bothered at all.
I think the sergeant majors think that they're important because the way they boss soldiers around, that they're under their rank. For instance, on parades in front of generals, they shout about the soldiers like, "Attention! March!"
And why do you think they shout at the soldiers like that?
Because they want to show how important they are and because they're thick.
Have you ever met anybody who thought he was important?
Well, once I did. There was this park I was playing in. I was on these rocks at the edge of the water, and this park keeper came along. You know, he was all la-di-da, thinking he was great. And I suppose he just got the job anyhow. He was only about 20. Well, anyhow, I was sitting on the rocks just watching the lads fishing, and he came along, "Hey, get off there," you know, just going on as though he was great and showing off and boasting.
What did you think about him?
Well, I thought he was a bit stupid.